Dr. Wendy Walsh is one of several women at the centre of the Fox News sexual harassment scandal, which led to the ousting last month of its biggest star presenter, Bill O'Reilly. Although 21st Century Fox says it has taken prompt and decisive action to address the allegations and other workplace issues at Fox News, Dr. Walsh has travelled to London this week to speak with the UK media regulator, Ofcom, which is considering whether Fox should be allowed to complete its £11.7 billion takeover of Sky. And I'm delighted to say I'm now joined at the FT's offices here in London by Dr. Walsh. Thanks very much for joining us.
Thank you, my pleasure.
Can I start, Wendy, by just asking you to remind our readers and viewers exactly what happened to you back in 2013?
Basically, I believe I was targeted by Bill O'Reilly at Fox News when I got a phone call from a segment producer saying, "Hey, Bill O'Reilly just saw you on TV." I'm a regular commentator. He wants you on his show, as if I should be excited by this, which I was. It was really the #1 ranked show in the country. After my third appearance, then I received an email from a Fox News employee, who I later learned is his executive assistant, asking me would I have dinner with him in Los Angeles. Really, I'm in a no-win situation. I can't say no to the big boss, so I consented to the dinner thinking I'll keep it business and I'll ask him about getting hired on as a contributor, a paid contributor at Fox News. Fortunately, I didn't have to bring it up. He brought it up right away, saying that Roger Ailes, the then chairman, is a good friend of his and they'd like to offer me a job. So the dinner felt almost like a celebratory dinner until after dinner when he simply said, "Let's get out of here." And as we walked out of the restaurant, which was in the Bel Air Hotel, I turned to the left towards the bar, he turned to the right towards the bedrooms and said, "No, come back to my suite." And I said, "I'm sorry, I can't do that." And I tried to be cordial and make it nice. So I said, "You know, Bill, we're both raising teenage girls. We should make some good choices for our kids, model some good choices." And he shrugged and we went to the bar. He went from charming to hostile then and said the words, "You're going to forget all about the career advice I gave you." And he said a few insultive things to me. And then he slowly weaned me from the show, growing continually cold.
And have you received any compensation? Because actually you went through the hotline, didn't you? You reported it.
So this happened in 2013, and I did like many women of my generation. I shrugged it off and said, another one, right? And I didn't even know that as a job applicant, you can also be sexually harassed. And so I didn't make any complaint. And I'm not litigious, and I don't want money. There's never been any lawsuit. I've never made any money. But last fall, the New York Times contacted me, and the reporter was doing an investigation, and she just turning over stones and said, "I noticed you used to be on the show, and now you're not anymore. Could you tell me why?" And then I had to make an ethical decision to lie and protect Mr. O'Reilly and Fox News, or tell the truth and hopefully, make a statement about how we should clean up our workplaces for all our daughters.
5 women, in addition to you, have now settled, according to the New York Times, for payouts of around $13 million. Are there many more, do you think?
Well, I have heard reports in the American media, there are many under Roger Ailes, and that's why he was ousted, Bill O'Reilly, 5 that we know about who are paid off and silenced, and I'm the only one who can legally speak, and I speak for them. There may be many more. I think this is the tip of the iceberg. There have been claims of racial discrimination at Fox News, even hacking, email hacking of one of the victims as a way to maybe threaten her. I don't know. And so I really believe that we are seeing a major structural dysfunction at Fox News. This wasn't one bad apple. This was a boys' club gone awry.
Let's talk a bit more about the culture. I mean, what do you think it tells us about the way that Rupert Murdoch and his family runs his media empire?
I believe Rupert Murdoch, I can't speak for his sons, but Rupert Murdoch cares about ratings and money, and that's about it.
Do you think it goes right the way to the top, that
Absolutely.
attitude?
I think it comes from the top down. I think these gentlemen who have been ousted, and of course the Murdoch's answer is, "Oh look, we're cleaning house. These problems are gone. We fired them all." Really? Only after we've begun to shine a light on it. Now you decide to take action?
And have you met Rupert Murdoch?
No, I have never.
What would you say to him if he was in the room now?
I would say, "Mr. Murdoch, bless you. You're stuck in another era. 1950 is gone. We need diversity in our workplaces. We need sensitivity. We need everybody to be treated as competent employees, no matter their race, their gender, or their sexual orientation.
You met with Ofcom yesterday. What did you tell them?
I wouldn't want to disclose anything. I think they're doing a very clean, official, and serious investigation, and I don't want to compromise it in any way.
And you came away with the impression that they are taking the sorts of evidence that you've presented to them very seriously.
That's about all I will say, is that they took it very seriously.
Do you genuinely think there is a parallel here? Because what happened to you was quite a long time ago. You know, Fox's bid for Sky, they will argue that it's a separate company, it's a different company to the last time they bid for Sky. Why is your experience relevant to the considerations Ofcom are making?
That's like a family saying, oh, it's just a problem with my little child. My teenager's fine, right? They're all in one family. Don't talk to me about boundaries. It's one corporate culture. And I just believe that this company cares about ratings and profits before they care about ethics.
Do you think the bid should be rejected by regulators here in the UK?
I do.
There's ultimately the person who will decide that is Karen Bradley, the UK Culture Secretary. And of course the woman who runs Ofcom is Sharon White, Chief Executive, so two very powerful women. What's your message to them about your experience and why they should take what happened to you and other women at Fox News seriously?
Well, first of all, I am really grateful that they are both women, and I'm sure have had careers where they've had to navigate around these kinds of landmines. So I would say, let's change things for our daughters. And secondly, if you want further proof, just go on YouTube and look for mashup videos of the likes of Bill O'Reilly saying the most racist things on national television. If you said the things that he said around the office, you would have been fired. But he was continually promoted, paid millions of dollars every year, and allowed to say these things on national television.
And I mean, just to go back to that point though, what happened, the sort of conduct of Bill O'Reilly and even Roger Ailes, that's one thing in a different cable news network, which is in the US. Here we have a bid for a European pay TV broadcaster by Fox. You know, for Ofcom it's quite difficult, isn't it, for them to sort of see the connection? Can you just explain or try and encapsulate why something that Bill O'Reilly did should have a bearing on a takeover bid, a commercial transaction?
Because Bill O'Reilly wasn't just one bad apple. He was part of a corporate system that went from the top down. And the top begins with Rupert Murdoch.
Dr. Wendy Walsh, thanks very much for your time.
Thank you.